So for the last few videos, we've had a lot of scripting, bullet points, shot lists. And so for today's video, what I wanted to do is to make something a little more casual, off the hip, and just go with whatever is presented, because the weather in the city has been absolutely beautiful this week. So let's get out of the office and head outside and try to just make something fun. And with the weather being so nice, I thought it would be the perfect time to make a video talking a little bit deeper about this here. Because a lot of people have been asking me to just put up more pictures about it and what my thoughts are about it after having using it for about 6 months now. And to be honest, if you've been watching some of the content from our Andalusia trip, all of the photos have been from that. And a lot of the photos from my most recent videos have also been from this, but I'll dive into it a little bit deeper. So I guess the plan today is to start the day off shooting some photos. We're out here at Friedrichstrasse. Wow, I couldn't even say that. At Friedrichstrasse, which is the entertainment district of Berlin, I guess, sort of, you could call it that. Sort of the Fifth Ave. Yes. Or what they want to be the Fifth Ave. Yeah. So we'll shoot some photos here. Then we'll do a little quick afternoon lunch break. Mm-hmm. Then I'll dive into my thoughts about this camera. Not really a review, just what I like, what I don't like, my user experience. And then we'll end the day with some more low light photos again, just for people who care about that kind of stuff. So the day is moving quick, so we better start moving quick as well. Yeah, let's go. One of the main reasons why people come out to this area is because of the most famous tourist attraction in this area, which is Checkpoint Charlie. And I thought we could go out here and take some photos because this area also draws out a lot of weirdness, and that type of weirdness could make for some really cool photos, possibly. So let's see what we can get. So we left Friedrichstrasse and made our way down to Kreuzberg, down by the canal, as you can see right behind me here. And this area is actually going to be really exciting for some interesting photos, because when it's really sunny, this is where everybody comes. Yes. And there's some really interesting characters. But right now we're by the canal and you can see these beautiful buildings behind me. And those buildings are sort of the highlight of this area. This feels like that one shot that I took of the sunset spot. Yeah. In Porto. Vitruvius. This is Berlin's Vitruvius. Everybody hangs out here for the sunset. Love this visual of everybody just hanging off on the edges of the canal. Yeah. Really beautiful. I don't know, man. There's like there's a little haze. There's just people unaware, cutting through shots. But that's okay. It's fun. I like looking over the water there. There's people in a red Adidas tracksuit and a green Adidas tracksuit. So maybe I'll try to get a cool shot of that. Okay.
So that's meshed in Mexico have that shot so. Now, the majority of this video is going to be the street style photos that you've been seeing. And for some people, that is right up their lane and their sweet spot. And for other people, they might not find use out of it because they're not into street photography. So I wanted to throw up some photos that are a bit more styled or created photos, like photo shoot style, editorial style, whatever you want to call it. And I did that when I took the camera through Andalusia on our road trip for 2.5, 3 weeks. And I took it to Mallorca. So we have a few photos. If you've been following my Instagram or those series, then you might have seen those photos already. But for the people who are watching this for the first time, I'll throw some of those up so that you can get a feel for what that might be like. This has been such a great area to shoot because not only are there a ton of people hanging off the side of the canal, there's also the swans. And this canal is super famous for that. A lot of people come here and take photos of the swans. Okay, so you probably can't hear the music because the microphone's isolating it. But we were able to track down what I'm dubbing as the dumpster DJ. So I'll show you what's going on with him. Alright, so I guess we're at the point in the video where I'm supposed to be talking about this camera. And to be completely honest, I wasn't sure if I was going to include this section in the video because for the way that I shoot and what I look for in a camera might be different than how you shoot and what you look for in a camera. So the things that I like, the things that I find are great about it, and the things that I don't like about it might be completely different than what you think, vice versa. So I guess we'll just dive in and talk about the physical appearance of the camera first. And first and foremost, it basically looks brand new still. The body looks really good, in great condition. The buttons are still nice and tactile and very clicky still. The back screen, I'm not using a protector and there's no scratches or scuff. It still looks really good. And I guess the only thing about it is on the thumb rest, there's a little bit of wear and tear from rubbing, as well as the little nubbins on the bottom. But otherwise, still in really great condition. The one thing that people ask me about the most is this strap, and it's a leather short strap by Studio JA. It's handmade here in Germany. It's co-founded by a German photographer and a photographer from the US. There's a small logo right here and a little bit of red stitching for a nice little detail. So if you're interested in this strap, I'll leave a link in the description below. The leather has just gotten softer over time, and I love this strap.
It's really well priced as well. For the shooting experience, I've really enjoyed it. As I mentioned previously, the menu system is minimal, well laid out, easy to navigate, and it's been one of my favorites that I've used. The pictures coming from it are just lovely. I just really enjoy the way that they look. Now, the thing that people might ask about the most is the autofocus. The autofocus for how I shoot works really well. The setting that I use is intelligent AF, and I set the zone to eye and face. So in a scene where there's not a lot of movement, it'll go to autofocus single and use the multi-point, looking at the whole scene. And if there is movement, it'll go into a little bit of the tracking the face and the eye. Now, does it work as well as what I'm typically used to from my Sony cameras? No, but it's not designed for that. If the subject is moving at a normal pace, it has no problem keeping up. But if it starts to move faster, like in a sort of a sports type of setting, then yeah, it does struggle a little bit, but then it just switches to the multi-point. Because of the contrast detection, sometimes it struggles in low light, but for me, I still think it is able to capture the scene really beautifully, even in those low light situations, and you'll see that a little later on. The other thing that I love about this camera is I love that I can shoot JPEGs straight out of camera and transfer it using the Leica Photos app. It works really, really well. You can monitor it as well. So if you need to see the scene and you can't see the back of the LCD, it works great for that. I use a custom setting. I shoot in the neutral setting for JPEGs, and I have the highlights at -2 and the shadows at +1. And I'll put some of those JPEG versus RAW comparisons up on the screen so you can see it. But at the end of the day, that was pretty brief, but it's because this isn't meant to be a review. It's just talking about my experience of using the camera and just a few things that I've noticed that I've liked or haven't liked. Oh, one last thing before I forget is the battery life. It's okay. You can shoot for about maybe 3 to 4 hours continuously, and you get about 200-ish shots. So it's not the best. You probably want to have a little battery bank or an extra battery if you're out shooting all day. The camera has given me exactly what I wanted it for, a fun shooting experience, something that I can take with me everywhere, and I've taken it to multiple countries, stuffed it into multiple different camera bags, and just enjoying the process of taking photos with a compact camera. So if you have any other questions, leave them in the comments below in case I didn't touch on it. All right, we made it out to one of the main busy areas. Let's try to get a night shot here. Whew. Trams are loud and they move so fast, so you got to see if I can get something. Shooting in this area is a lot of fun, but you got to be so careful because there's trams that move in like 6 different directions. There's a bike lane here, there's people coming down, so let's see if I can get a cool shot here. I think there's like a new Asian restaurant here, so we'll take a little shot of this thing. That looks cool. Oh, try not to get hit by a car or bike. Let's see, there's a shot here. Shot a cat. Throw a tram behind you. And that takes us to the end of our shooting day, because we have been out for about 5 to 6 hours and we have exhausted all the battery on this little guy. Now, when I got this camera, my main goal was
to get a camera that I could take with me everywhere and that was extremely fun to use. And it's been that for me. So I hope that for all the people that were curious about what the photos look like coming out of this camera, it gave you a good impressions with all the photos that were shown and taken today. And that's pretty much it. So if you have any other questions about the Leica D-Lux 8 that I missed or didn't touch on, then leave me a comment below and I will reply to you. And I appreciate your support. Subscribe to the channel if you can. I am working really hard to try to get to 5,000 subscribers. If you find that this video could be useful to someone who's thinking about this camera, consider sharing with them and liking the video. And that's it for this one. So, as always, live passionately and stay inspired. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.